Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those who do not know me, my name is Kadar and this is Kadar Unveiled, a YouTube channel where we are learning to grow in Christ and improve in every aspect of life. Listen, so today the surrounding is a little different. As you guys know, I have been diagnosed with COVID-19, so I decided to set up studio in the bedroom, and as you can tell by the title, today's video is all about my new grads. These are the 5 top tips that I believe can help any new grad nurse achieve the goal that they want to and feel comfortable of being on the floor. Today will not be a long video, so without further ado, before we get into this video, make sure that you hit the like button, and if you have any questions throughout the video, drop a comment down below in the comment section, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe and become a part of the Unveiled family. Alright guys, let's get into it. Alright guys, so if you see me looking down, it's because I have my notes right here. As you know, sometimes I can like go off in a tangent, so I have my notes just to get right into it and we can stay focused. Tip number 1, you want to make sure that you arrive early. This is a tip that I personally did, and I personally will watch another nurse do when I was still in school. So the reason why I say arrive early is because as a new nurse, you're first of all nervous as all get out, and then you want to get there early so that you can look up your patient. You want to look up your patient and see what kind of situation is going on, like what are their diagnosis. If you know about their diagnosis, great, then you can look at the type of medication that they're on, and if you don't, you're able to look up, okay, how do I treat this particular diagnosis. You're also able to read through the notes just so you'll be able to get some background history. This really helped me, and it helped me calm my nerves down, because like I said, as a new nurse, you want to be perfect, you want to make sure you don't hurt anyone, and you just want to make sure that you're on top of your things. So arriving early really did help me. Number 2, iron your uniform. I know that word is probably sounding weird to you because of the way I say it, but ironing your uniform really does make a difference. And the reason why I say this is because I noticed when I would iron my uniform and come, you know, promptly and look presentable, the doctors and other professionals that are on the interdisciplinary team really listened and took note of what I was saying, because I looked well put together. My hair was put together, my uniform was put together, and then it made them feel comfortable that I was a nurse who was very competent and well aware of what was going on. I did notice when my other counterparts would come in and maybe their uniform would be wrinkled, especially as a new grad, especially when the staff does not know you, they would kind of side eye the people doing rounds. And of course, doing rounds, you're trying to pay attention to what everybody else is saying, so you don't really get to notice the faces that they're making. So I would definitely say iron your uniform and make sure that you look very presentable. Plus, you want to look professional anyway. You never know who's watching. It also helps the patient to realize and to feel comfortable with you, because they look at you and see that you are well put together, meaning that they believe that their care is going to be well put together as well. So that was tip number 2. Tip number 3. So tip number 3, I'm pretty much going to give you 2 of them, but it's pretty much ask questions and write down the answer. You want to make sure that you're asking questions throughout your orientation, because you want to make sure that if you don't understand something, you get the understanding, but you're writing it down because you want to make sure that you review it later, which is also tip number 5. So you want to make sure that you're writing down questions, you're writing down the answers, and you also want to make sure that you're reviewing what you've learned. This goes hand in hand for so many reasons. Throughout orientation, you're going to see a lot of different things. You're going to work with a lot of different people, a lot of different patients, and you want to make sure that you are gaining an understanding of what is going on. Orientation is the biggest part of your nursing career, because the way that you are trained really helps when you are alone on that floor And don't get me wrong, you're never technically alone, but when you're by yourself and you have your patient load, you want to make sure that you don't have to stop giving care to a patient just to run around and ask people simple questions that you should already know. So I believe writing down questions and then reviewing them later really did help. And you never know when you're going to be precepting, and you want to make sure that you can pass down, you know, notes or guidance to the younger generation that's coming up behind you. So yeah. So tip number 5. So 3 and 4 was write down the questions, ask questions, write them down. And then tip number 5 is study at home. So I know what you're gonna say, Kadar, I already graduated, I passed in NCLEX, I don't feel like studying. I understand that, but like I said before, you want to make sure that you are asking questions and then reviewing the answer that you get, because you want to know why that particular patient did not get a beta blocker, especially if they have a heart block. You want to make sure you understand why someone with a septic shock may be getting a bunch of fluids versus someone who is in cardiogenic shock may not be getting a whole bunch of fluids. You want to make sure that you understand why that particular patient did not get it in their diagnosis. It just makes things click. When I tell you the dots start connecting, nursing school becomes more relevant and more like, that's why they used to repeat that over and over. That's why they kept saying that, is because of moments that you will have on that floor. So make sure that you review at home. If you are not getting along with your preceptor, or you feel as though your preceptor is not really teaching you the best way possible, don't be afraid to ask for a new preceptor. I say this because there was a point in my career where I felt like I really didn't mesh with my preceptor, and I really never said anything. Now, with that being said, my preceptor was really good. Like, she was a really good help. Even when I got off her orientation, I really still felt comfortable going to her. But I did notice how some of my other counterparts would be taught, and it's not saying that my preceptor didn't do a good job. It was just certain ways that other people taught. They would, you know, go over certain things, but they would drill that person of why we're doing this, why we're giving this medication. And that is how I learned. I have to be drilled. I have to really work on it and do repetitive things to grasp everything and get to an understanding. So instead of me asking for one, I literally would take the training that she would give me, and when she would ask, like, do you have any questions? If I had questions, I would ask. If I didn't ask, of course, but I would take what I learned and try to go into other rooms and help wherever I could. So if someone said, hey, I need an extra hand, I was in there trying to learn what I needed to learn just by, you know, helping other people, if that made sense. So if you are not agreeing with your preceptor, or y'all just do not mesh, or the way they're teaching you doesn't help, don't be afraid to ask for another preceptor. Your preceptor should understand. And then you always have those cases where, you know, you just don't mesh, and that's okay. There's no hard feelings. Like, do not be afraid. Some people are not meant to teach. I remember being a new grad on the CCU, and there was one particular person who was like, yeah, I don't like teaching. Like, straight out said, I don't like teaching. But that person was someone that you knew didn't like teaching, and they was cool with it, but they later turned out to be like one of the biggest helps. So yes. And last but not least, number 7 is be confident in yourself. You want to make sure that you're confident in yourself, because if you can get through nursing school and you can pass that NCLEX, you were meant to be there. Do not doubt yourself and ever wonder if you're smart enough or if you are like others. Everyone learns differently. Everyone does things differently. Your path is your path. So you have to learn to be confident in yourself and be okay with your progress at that moment. Always reach out for help, and always be confident in your voice. Never be afraid. Alright guys, so that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, if you have any comments or questions, make sure you comment down below. If you like these type of videos, make sure you hit the like button. And if you are not a part of the Unveil family, please think about subscribing. Matter of fact, hit the subscribe button, because I know this is probably not your first video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and come on back. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.